here we are, the Redmi Note 4. Has Xiaomi done enough to justify the lightning quick release cycle? Is the Redmi Note 4 a worthy successor to the insanely successful Redmi Note 3? These are questions we try to answer in this video. But before we get to that, if this is your first time here or in case you just can't remember, my name's Ash, this is C4E Tech and you're watching our full review of the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4. Let's get started. As always, let's start with the build. The Redmi Note 4 looks quite similar to the Redmi Note 3. Here's the Note 4 side by side with the Note 3. There are antenna lines now due to more metal being used in the build. The speakers now have been moved to the bottom. While the button placements remain the same, the chamfered metal to the sides do add a level of finesse to the Redmi Note 4, and so does the 2.5D glass covering the display. The Redmi Note 4 definitely sticks to its Redmi Note roots but feels very refined. Xiaomi's pulled this off without compromising on the regular Redmi Note features like the IR blaster, backlit capacitive keys, or the hybrid slot. The display here is an IPS LCD panel and retains the 1080p resolution as its predecessor. Xiaomi states that this is a better display than the one used on the Redmi Note 3, but me personally, I didn't really notice a difference. It's a mid-range Full HD display, sharp, good viewing angles, reasonably accurate colors. The glass is a little reflective, so sunlight legibility is not the best. Now, underneath the hood, the Redmi Note 4 is powered by a deca-core Helio X20 chip. So we have two sets of 4 A53 cores and a couple of high-powered A72 cores. Mali T880 MP4 handles GPU duties, and we've got variants with 16 and 64 gigs of storage with 2 and 3 gigs of RAM respectively. Both with benchmarks and real-time intensive usage scenarios like gaming, the Redmi Note 4 held up well. The audio via the internal speaker was reasonably loud, and the audio via the 3.5mm headphone jack was decent. I experienced no issues with cellular reception or call quality, and though this phone is running on the Chinese firmware, there is support for Geo-VoLTE, which is an added advantage. The battery capacity is a whopping 4100 mAh, but remember this chip's similar to the one found on the Redmi Pro. And here's what I had to say about battery life on the Redmi Pro. All this is backed up by a 4050 mAh battery, and the battery life was good. Good, not great. Before I explain, you need to understand that going into this review, the Redmi Pro felt quite similar to the Redmi Note 3, similar sizes, similar capacity batteries, so I went in with expectations of similar, if not better battery performance. But it isn't quite there, at least not yet. I could get through a day of moderate to heavy usage on a single charge with no issues. That's more than what I can say of even some flagships out there. But this is no Redmi Note 3 when it comes to battery performance. And the Redmi Note 4 performs similarly. I use this phone with dual SIM cards, my primary Vodafone SIM and my secondary Reliance Jio mainly for data. And the Redmi Note 4 performed reasonably well with regards to battery life, but not quite as well as the Note 3. I couldn't help but be a little disappointed here. But do note that, like I said with the Redmi Pro, the Redmi Note 4's battery life is still much above average and would keep most people happy, just not the ones who might actually upgrade from the Redmi Note 3. Anyway, moving on with the camera, Xiaomi's gone back to 13 megapixels here. The camera is nothing special, the aperture is f2.0, makes for some decent depth of field. Under good light, the images are comparable to the Redmi Note 3. That's not saying much given that the camera on the Redmi Note 3 wasn't bad, but it wasn't anything special. The images are a little soft and the detail levels average. Under low light, the results were very mediocre, and that's me being generous. This phone can shoot 1080p videos at 30 frames per second and the video quality is quite similar. A little too soft for my liking, but acceptable given the price segment. The face detection autofocus helps, and talking about focus, the focus hunting issue from the Redmi Note 3 is not present here. The 5 megapixel front-facing camera shoots decent selfies. And with that, let's talk software. The Redmi Note 4 runs on Android 6 Marshmallow with Xiaomi's custom MIUI 8 on top. MIUI 8 is something we've discussed a lot, so I'll leave a card to my MIUI 8 features video. Do check that out for more information. The short version, no app drawer, support for themes, lots of them, feels more refined than MIUI 7, some new functionality including dual app, second space and more. The user experience here is decent. I did experience some stutter and a bit of lag at times, but for the most part, MIUI 8 on the Redmi Note 4 was smooth. Not as fast as stock Android, but quite consistent. This is the 3GB RAM version that is being used in this video, and with that, let's get to pricing. The Redmi Note 4 is priced at $899 and $1199 yuan respectively. That's $135 or around 9,000 rupees for the 16GB variant, and $180 or 12,000 rupees for the 64GB variant. That's around the same price that the Redmi Note 3 sells for in India. So, is the Redmi Note 4 worth your money? Not if you own a Redmi Note 3, but if you are in the market for a phone today and were looking to import, or if Xiaomi actually launches the Redmi Note 4 in your market, it could be a sweet deal. That said, given that the Redmi Note 4 sports a MediaTek chip inside, the odds of it coming to India in this form at least are very low. Maybe Xiaomi brings a Snapdragon 653 variant, only time will tell, I guess. So do you agree with my take on the Redmi Note 4? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So that's it for this review. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, vote it down if you didn't, and for more videos like this, hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. So thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, this is Ash here from C4E Tech signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye bye now.